good afternoon, West Ham fans. Rush to the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're ready, don't forget to like, comment, share. Get to say that occasionally. So it's Friday. We've done another week, and so it's time for another edition of Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys, talking about transfer rumours as per usual. With less than a month until the transfer window is wide open. For West Ham to be linked with hundreds of players and never sign anyone, or sign about 4. We know it's going to happen, really. It'd be a pleasant surprise if it doesn't. But 3 stories today. Obviously, this morning we spoke about Lewis Orford. We had the Graham Potter press conference this week, this afternoon as well. And then, obviously, Sunday, we've got the Man United game, the Europa League finalists against Spurs. Fight. Is it me, or is that like literally you just want it to be a draw? Don't want anyone to win that one, to be honest. Well, I'm probably more likely Man United than Spurs, obviously. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about some players who've been linked to it. Let's talk about this one. Evan Almighty being linked with West Ham. Now, it's a guy we've spoken about before, the niche striker Evan Guessand. Now, after a very consistent season in League A, he has not only West Ham, but a number of other Premier League clubs looking at him for a potential summer signing. He continues to attract mass interest from the likes of us, Villa, Arsenal, Man United are also thought to be interested in the situation with Evan as well. He's contributed 21 goals for Nice this season. He was linked with us back in, I think, in January. We were looking at him when we were sort of in desperate need for a striker, and we opted for the loan signing of Evan Ferguson, and wasn't that successful. His next destination is unclear. He hasn't spoken about preferences, but I think there's a big chance that the young attacker will be making the big move to the Premier League this summer. And West Ham could angle a move. Who knows? Obviously, who was the big lad we were after? Toffin? I can't remember his name. He went to Nice eventually. Was it at Nice? I can't remember now. So many players we've been linked with. But Guessand has all the attributes to be, I think, a very good Premier League player and could fit in well to the West Ham setup. But again, we shall see. These things are always subject to change. Could we be seeing the next Shevchenko in claret and blue? Shevchenko famously scored for West Ham reserves team when he was at Dynamo Kiev. When he was on trial at West Ham under Harry Redknapp, I believe. That worked out well. But according to Ukrainian reporter Viktor Vratsko, Dynamo Kiev maybe tends to part ways with their scoring sensation, Vladislav Vanat, with West Ham looking at a relative decent fee for him. Reports that we've been watching him this season. He's the Golden Boot winner from last year's Ukrainian Premier League, and he's on track to have a almost a second successful top crown season, getting the top spot again. Also, the likes of Brentford, Fulham, and Leeds are all looking at the Ukrainian international hotshot, who has 21 goals so far across all competitions this year, 17 of which have come in the league. He's been labelled as the second coming of Shevchenko, as I said. He's more of a poacher. And again, in terms of the way Potter likes to set up, it does seem that he prefers maybe more of a target man than a poacher, but that's only what we're looking at the moment. He comfortably finishes off chances left and right, and doesn't score many headers, but scored one recently in the 2-2 draw with Shakhtar Donetsk. It's around about 17 million quid will be enough to twist Dynamo's arm, apparently. The journalist has said, I think a price around 20 million euros with 20 or 30% sell-on clause for the next sale would be a good option. And this is what clubs from the top 5 European leagues will be able to afford. Whether Dynamo will be satisfied with this conditional 20 million sale is the most interesting question in this context. So again, one of several players who we've been linked with. We've been linked with shitloads already. I've already filled up the page, so now I've got to decrease the font. and put another column in. So it's going to be a long one in terms of the list of players who've been linked with so far, and we will be continue to be linked with during the transfer window. Obviously, one of the players we were looking at, another striker, was Emmanuel Amica from Strasbourg. And according to reports, it's not just Emmanuel we're looking at. We've apparently also been keeping tabs on Delaney Bakwa, the Strasbourg winger as well. Us and Spurs are monitoring the player's situation. Additionally, he has the potential to join maybe Chelsea, although there's the same issue with Amiga in terms of the sort of multi-club ownership with Blue Co. Around 18 million euros is what he's currently valued at, which seems a bit of a bargain. He's having a stellar season where they both are. I mean, Strasbourg itself, Liam Rossini is doing an amazing job out there. And it's not just going to be us and Spurs that are interested in them. It's going to be a host of sides looking at Strasbourg and looking to take their best players, as always happens. Once they get into the sort of the public eye, these players do tend to get moved on pretty sharpish in order to make a profit. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very much for your time as per usual. Couple of house notices. Don't forget to check out our channel sponsors. Match Bingo. We'll have obviously the bingo cards ready for Sunday's game against Man United. As I said, West Ham Network, our bingo card won the Brighton game, and fair play to Match Bingo. They basically donated the money, which wasn't ours anyway. It was only fun money for us to play with, to show you how it works, to Iron Sport Food Banks and the Ayrshire Cancer Support charity as well, which was fantastic. And speaking of the Ayrshire Cancer Support Charity, you've got to get a more snappier name than that, guys. We've still got the Jared Bowen signed shirt. Donations going to be made to the charity. It said Bowen's on fire, written by the man himself. Very unusual that he writes those types of things. A bit of a collector's item. If you want to get involved, you've got the raffle link below, £5. And I think the end of play today, the early bird offer, I think if you buy 3, you get 1 ticket free, so you get 4 for 3. That comes to an end this evening. So if you want to get yourself a bargain, get involved with that. Until next time, don't forget to check out obviously needsatmamabrand.com for latest news, views, and opinions. And we'll see you soon. We'll have all the starting 11 of the show. We'll have all that type of stuff coming up in the next day or so's. What can possibly go wrong? What can possibly go wrong? A trip to Man United, who have just qualified for the Europa League final. They'll be absolutely buzzing, won't they? Anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and I'll see you soon, my friends. Peace out. Have a great weekend. If you're having a VE day party, enjoy. We've got a street party in Osborne Road. It'll be exciting. And tonight, actually, if you are going to E13's John Lyle 7580 Gala dinner, come over and say hello. I'll be there on the 1s and 2s. Much love. Bye-bye.